Hello, this is Mr. Rogers, and this is a demonstration as how we use TinkerCad to design a T-posed character that we can then throw bones in and animate. So we're going to make an animated character, basically. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So what we're going to do first is make sure that you go to TinkerCad in Google and then click Sign In. When you click Sign In, you just click on Personal Accounts at the bottom, and then Sign In with Google. And that should load right up. Choose your name, and you're in. I have a lot of models that we've built already, but we're going to start this one from scratch. So you're just going to click on Create New Design. Well, in order to build our biped, and that's the only thing that this program we're going to use can do, we're going to bring in some basic shapes for that. So watch carefully and just follow the steps. It should be pretty easy to do. We're just going to bring out first a rounded roof. So you're going to just drag that right off of the task pane to the center. Okay, and please get used to these tools over here. Remember, this is not really 3D, it's 2D with the illusion of 3D. So it's using, shading and vectors and all that to give you the illusion that it's that. Remember, with the object selected, I can click on this to fit it to the screen. I can click on the house to take it back, and make sure the work plane is always facing the bottom. That's going to give you your orientation. The next step is to bring out the toe of our shoe. So I'm going to bring out this half sphere and put it right here at the front of that shoe. I'm going to get close to make sure it's well fitted into the base of the foot. And you can see there as I go around it, it's come out a little bit. So I'm going to use my arrow keys to just tuck it in there so it's meshed in really tight. And just go all the way around and make sure it looks good. That's great. All right, let's come back out to the house. And we'll go back over here to get another shape for the lower part of the leg, or the shin. We're going to drag this and put it inside of our foot. And we're going to once again get close. Hit the fit button, and let's just make sure that's fitting there. You can see there's a little bit of a notch to the back. I think it just needs to come back a little bit. So I'm going to hit the arrows to get it in the right shape. That's a pretty tight fit all the way around. So just with 3 shapes, we have a pretty good looking foot. I'm going to come back out. You can use the zooms for that, or you can hit the house again. Okay, you've got 4 handles, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 handles adjust the width and the height, or the width and the length of the object. But the one we want to do, make sure you're clicking on the leg. You'll see it because it has the orange if you haven't changed the color. And let's fit it. And let's just come out a little bit. And we're going to choose this handle, this top handle. This is our height. We're going to bring that up. I'm going to bring it up to about, 45 is good for our shin. All right. That's the lower part of the leg. The next step would be to come over here, and we're going to grab a sphere for the knee. Put the sphere close to the leg, and you can use the arrow keys. I like to use the arrow keys to move it around. It just makes it easier. And I've put it directly inside the leg, and if you go array around, you'll see it peeking out just a touch. Now we need to move that. That's going to be our knee. We're going to need to move that knee up. And to move it up, what you do is you hold down the control button and then the up arrow. And when you do that, you'll notice the object rises right to the top. And I would do it to right about there because we're going to get another part of the leg here. Now I'm going to click away off into the white, and I'm going to click the fit button, and that should fit all the shapes onto my screen. All right, it's looking good, really good so far. We've got part of our leg. And as we talked about in class, we only need to make one of these, and then we can just duplicate the leg. So the next part would be to take the lower part of the leg here, save some work, because it can be the upper part. Let's duplicate it. Now be careful here. Don't hold down the D. Just hold down the control button and touch the D once. Once you do that, you'll have one duplicate. Hold down the control and then the up arrow, and voila, you have the second part of your leg. You can move it up and then kind of circle around it, make sure it's looking good. I might go up just a little bit more so I can see more of that knee there. That looks great. Remember to go around your objects often so that you're sure that they're in line. Again, it's 2-dimensional, so it can be very deceiving. Now I'm going to click the house button, bring it all out, and I'm actually going to hit the fit button too. I'm going to click off and click the fit button. Now I have my whole leg here, and we're going to double it. To do that, I'm going to use another shortcut. It's Control A. So hold down Control, touch the A once. That selects everything on the field. Control D once. Be careful there. All right, and then use the arrow key, and you have a separate leg coming out. If you look at the squares on the bottom, I'm going to go out about, I'd say maybe 15 millimeters or so. Every block is, let's say 20 millimeters. Looks like about 20 millimeters is good. Fantastic. So we got that first part done. Now we're going to go on to put in some pants or a skirt, up to you what you want to build. Your choice. For the skirt, we like the paraboloid, so you can grab this little half egg-like shape. And I recommend when you move this around, these are the handles. We're going to need to rescale it. We're going to need to make it bigger. Now you could make it bigger just by holding the handle, but notice how it gets all wonky and it gets out of distorted and out of place. So what you want to do while you're moving it around like this is hold down the Shift key and look what happens. It scales it proportionately, so it's very nice. So I might make this really big. Okay, and now that I have that done, I'm going to use my arrow keys and just kind of center it on the legs before I bring it up the body. That's looking pretty good. Make sure it's well centered. Then hold down Control and bring it on up. Perfect. And if you click away and hit the Fit button, all of it will fit on the stage. And you can see right there, I have a really nice skirt. Looks really good there. If you don't want skirt, we also have the ability to put some shorts on here. So we're going to try that out. Going to grab a box, drag the box out to the bottom. Right? And I like to move the box over the legs, especially over to the left leg. Okay, using the width handle, this little handle here, I'm just going to stretch it across so that it's all the way across there. So we've got that. So we can see that that box is fitting that. Once that's kind of the size of the legs, I'm going to move it off the stage a touch here. And I'm going to click the Fit button while it's selected, and it's going to get me close to that object. I'm going to stretch this up a little bit, maybe 27, 28 or so, and that's a great size for my pair of shorts. Come over here. We're going to get a rounded roof. Drag the rounded roof into the center of this rectangle, of this rectangular prism. Put it right about there. All right. Now I'm going to use the spin box, and I'm going to spin it over to the right. While I do this, notice that the little rounded roof is still selected. I can still see the handle, so that's important. Once I get it to about here, I'm going to grab this handle, and I'm going to stretch the length of it out so that I can see it all the way through this rectangular prism. Okay, so I've got that all the way through. Great. It looks pretty good. If you want to, shape it up a bit, that'd be great so that it's more centered. And what we're going to do here with these two shapes together is we're going to cut it out. It's a really cool feature about TinkerCad is you can subtract one object from another object. So to do that, I'm going to select the object that I want to subtract. So this is the one I want to subtract. And I'm going to click over here. You'll notice that it says solid, but next to it says hole. So I'm going to turn that shape into a hole. So now you'll notice it kind of goes gray and transparent. Now I'm going to click on this object again, the hole, and I'm going to hold down Shift and do this. You have to do this carefully. Hold down Shift and click on the box, okay, or what will be the pants. So I've got both selected. When you do that, new buttons light up on the top, and the one you want is this one right here that's group. Could be a Control G as well, but I just press the button. When I do that, it subtracts the one object from the other, and voila, we have a pair of neat shorts. So I'm just going to start bringing those up in the air, holding down Control. Hit my Fit button, and bring them over onto the legs, like so. Remember to go to the side a lot, and that's important. Excellent. I'm going to move forward with the pants. So I'm going to take the skirt and move that away. But again, you could move forward with the skirt or you could move forward with the pants. It's up to you, the shorts. So I'm going to take that off for the moment so that it doesn't interfere with my first model here. You'll notice if you get close, mine's a little bit narrow and I can see the legs through it. So I'm going to click on this black handle here and just kind of stretch it forward a little bit so that the pants go over the legs a bit more. Just make sure there's no leg kind of showing through too much. Looks great. All right, I'm really happy with this. Okay, so the next step would be to get another rectangle. Just going to get a rectangle. Of course, you can play with other shapes later, but for our demonstration, we're just going to play with some basics, and then later you can put in other shapes, play around. What's very important, though, is that you make something that's bipedal, and like we talked about before, that's a word that means two legs, that you walk with two legs. All right, there's my square, or my cube. Now this cube here, it's too small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this this pants, and I'm going to look at the parameters. If you hover over one of the handles, it'll show you the width and the length, and this is 57 by 23. So if I come over here, I can do the same. I can just click once, and I can just type in 57, and I can type in over here the 23 and press enter. And what that does is it just gives me the exact same shape and size. I'm going to change its color so it's distinctive from the shorts. And you can see here, oh, there's a problem. Make sure that you don't leave any gaps when you build this. Otherwise, our Mixamo program, which puts bones in the rig, will not be able to resolve, okay, and you'll have trouble. So I'm going to bring that down, hold down Control, and make sure that those two are touching. They can intersect all you like. I'm also going to bring it back. And if you want, you can stretch this out a touch more so it's a little wider, a little longer. All right. Looks great. So just go around your work a lot, like I told you before. Make sure it's good intersections. Nothing is floating. No floating, please. All right, now this is going to be the torso, so we're going to move this up a ways. I'm going to move it up to about, let's say, 59 or so. That's a good number. Great. All right. Now, my next question to all the students is, well, how many arms do we have to make? And then they'll be like, well, we have to make at least one arm. But you don't. The arm is already here. We're going to use the leg for that. So let's click away from anything. Don't have anything selected. Make sure you click on front on the spin box and definitely hit the fit button. When you do that, it should put the entire rig that we have in here so far ready to go. Now, what I'd like you to do is come down here to the leg, and we're going to just click, hold, and drag a select box just so it touches. It just only has to touch these three shapes, the two cylinders and the sphere, and let go. All right. Now that's our leg, and we don't want the foot at all. We just want the leg. We're going to do Control D once. Be careful. And we're going to use the arrow key, and we're going to bring that out. Perfect. It's going to save us a lot of work. We don't have to rebuild an entire arm here. It's already been built. So we're going to come to this, this shape, and we are going to fit it to the screen. And while it's fit to the screen, I want you to pay attention to these little arrows here. And you'll see when I hover over it, it shows a protractor. So we want that protractor, hover, click, drag, and kind of drag it down a little so you're in the center circle. And what that'll do is it'll allow it to snap. If you're outside the circle, the protractor will be a smooth run. So we want it to snap to 90 degrees. Just like that. Now, all you need to do is hold down Control and bring it up the body. And it should actually be perfectly aligned to where the leg was. So you won't have to move it around much at all. I'm just going to keep fitting it until I get near the top. And I went too high, so I'm going to bring it down a touch. Great. All right. So now if I look around that, because the leg was already well centered, the arm went to the right place perfectly. Now, it's very important you do this next step. Otherwise, if you duplicate it, it's going to duplicate the way it originally was. So let's just click away and reselect those objects. Reselect those three objects, just the elbow and the arms segments. Now, with those selected, we're going to duplicate Control D, and we're going to use the arrow key. We're going to just hit the left arrow key and bring it all the way through the body. Okay, and make sure to fit it. I'm going to click away and fit. Looks good. You could hit the house button too. Zoom out. And just take a look at your shape. That looks good. I'm happy with that. I don't think I have any gaps. Let me check here. Let me get close to this. Nope, that's inside the body well, so we're good to go. Fantastic. And like I showed you before, I like using shapes to build the body. So the first shape we're going to do here is we're going to take this leg here, this upper thigh, and we're going to turn it into a neck, which is going to be really easy. So we're going to take that, click it once, Control D one time, hold down Control and the up arrow, and voila, we have an instant neck. You just bring it up as far as you want, and then kind of center that right there. Fantastic. For the head, same thing, no problem. You get something real close by that would make a great head, and I'm going to use the sphere in the elbow. So I'm going to click on that sphere, Control D, hold the up arrow, and again, everything is already aligned well, so it should, if you just use the arrow keys going back and forth, everything should line up pretty good here. Let me get close to that head. All right, so it's kind of small. To resize the head, we're going to do is like we did with below, we're going to do a little scaling here. To scale, you hold your cursor over this corner, any one of the corner handles, it doesn't matter which, and hold down the shift. If you don't hold down the shift, then it gets all wonky. But if you hold the shift down, notice it'll scale it up really quickly, and that's nice. I'm going to move the head more onto the neck. And I'm going to go around my work and make sure, see, when I went to the back, that's not very well centered. So I'm going to move that back in here. Great. I'm going to bring it down. I am going to click away, and I'm going to do a quick check. Make sure to go through. You can check all your work. I would move objects and do Control Z, and just double check you don't have any duplicates. Also spin around and make sure all your objects are touching each other. When you're done, click away. Just click off into the white and hit the fit button. And if there's no other objects in your field, then everything should fit on the screen really nicely here. So there's my character ready to go. Now let's go ahead and get this guy up online. To do that, you come here to Export, and you want to export everything in the design, okay? Everything in the design. And that export is going to be the OBJ, okay? The OBJ. Now before you export, make sure to double check and get your file up here that you know the name of it. Mine's going to be I'm going to leave the silly name, but you can give it your own name. Mine's Swanky Villahamo. I don't know what that means. Press Export. OBJ, everything in the design. And I'm just watching for the cue. You little pop-up here. There it is. It came down, so it's done. Now I'm going to go and open a new tab at the top. Go to Google, type in Mixamo, and then go to the site. And, log in with Google as you normally would here. Just go ahead and click. You might get that login and just log in with Google like we did in class. All right, so we're going to upload our characters. So you click on the Upload button. And you're going to select the character file right from here. And I'm going to go to mine's going to be buried a little bit. And there he is, Swanky Villemo. And press Open. And give it a second for it to process the character. And it'll put it in that looks something like this. Notice it's looking top down. So you want to make sure that before you start to rig this, you're going to be putting the bones in with this animation. You want to rotate it. And you want to make sure to rotate it so you can see it from the front. And I know mine's the front because my shoes are pointing forward with those little purple tips, so that helps. So my orientation is finished. Looking at it from the front, press Next. Here's where we're going to put in our auto rigger control points, our markers. And so we want to put one directly in the chin. Make sure it's well put. The wrists go right out here, a little bit further out on the arms. The elbows go right where the elbows would be. So we've got those marked well. The knees go here. And the groin goes in the belly button area right about here. Now, if everything doesn't line up perfectly, I would use symmetry, turn that off. And then I would definitely center these a little bit better. And sometimes this makes the character run a little bit better when you send it up. Looks great. I recommend the no fingers skeleton, so you can click on that one. you might get better results. And then just press next. If everything goes well, then you should have a wonderfully animated character. And then you can go through and do all sorts of variations, try different shapes, different sizes. I even had a student double up 2 characters on top of each other. It looked like they were on each other's shoulders. So it's really kind of a neat piece. Still a biped, but the way he did it was kind of neat with the illusion. So this takes about a minute or so. And when it's finished, you should see a demo. If you see jumps and spikes jumping all over the place, that means you probably didn't get it lined up well. There's a little bit of lining up well, and you do. But this looks really great. Press next. Next again. And then you can put in all sorts of fun animations. The dance ones are the most popular. So you can just run any kind of animation here and take a look at your work. All right. He's really grooving it out. And that's all there is to this. Let me know if you have any questions. Please have fun animating your characters, and I will see you soon. Thank you.